Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Yeah.
Can I make you groove now? Yes, I can. So you can get this groove in a bag of a can. But to make it round the world, man, the holes in your hand. Popcorn World. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. Popcorn World. Popcorn World. Popcorn World.
Now it's time for Believe in the ACC with our starting lineup. From Florida State, number 17, Charlie Ward. From Morehead State University, number 50, Lloyd Span. And from Murray State University, number 2, Kendrick Haskett. Get ready for the best sports show about the ACC in all the land. Believe in the ACC starts now.
I don't know why that drives us like it drives us. It does. It does. Boogie in your step.
It's a good way to get the morning started.
All that, that grogginess, gone.
Yeah.
Once that whistle starts, it's all good. That is Kendrick Haskins over there, blinking his way into the love of sport.
Gotta love allergy season.
I love allergy season. Love that. This is Believe in the ACC and Press and Pros. This is what we call a mashup of two different podcasts into one, mainly because of scheduling conflicts.
And we tired.
But nevertheless, we're going to give you all this sports information and news and opinion over the course of however many, long it takes us to get this done. Okay.
And having fun.
And we have a good time. That's the best part of the podcast. We're hilarious.
Just ask. We're hilarious. Just ask.
Listen, we're entertained. I don't know if you're going to be, but we are thoroughly entertained. Tell you, we're having a good time over here. Okay. Some things to talk about today. And I didn't want to just do a regular show today, Kendrick. I wanted to add a little, dare I say, pizzazz. Some je ne sais quoi. Am I using this right? Je ne sais quoi? So we're going to go play a little game here in just a minute. But before we do, I want to give you guys a quick update because we do the Believe in the ACC part first normally. And we want to give you a quick update of the standings, what's going on in the standings. Now, this is very much going to change because Louisville has already lost the game on Monday. So that's going to be different. Though, I don't know what happened.
If they win at Clemson on Saturday, they'll probably still be right.
Yeah, if they win at Clemson, which they should, then they'll probably just drop one place. Or
that's what they've been doing for like the last 3 weeks. Is like
right.
They split their games during the week and they stay ranked.
Right. Or if there's a little bit more chaos in the overall games, then maybe they don't drop as far, or maybe they may rise depending on how bad they beat Clemson, or if they beat Clemson at all. So, but Duke got their win. And we can talk about that here in a minute as well. And then Virginia is at 11, and then North Carolina is at 18. And then on the women's side, once again, Louisville, Duke, North Carolina. It's like a pattern developing in college sports, in basketball, in the ACC. 3 teams have emerged from the pack.
It still amazes me that Louisville's ahead of Duke in the rankings, but Duke won the game, and Duke is leading the ACC.
Well, because I think everybody recognized in that game that Duke probably shouldn't have won that game, but they won. and yeah,
we could say that, and while I agree that I think if they played again, Louisville will probably win. At the same time, Duke led just about the whole game. The game, and Louisville did come back and had a chance to win it at the end, and they did with their best player not scoring at all in the game. It is amazing how she averages 11, 12 points a game, but whenever she doesn't have a good game,
they struggle. Yeah. Speaking of that, is she back? Is she going to be back? Have you heard that the injury was not? Unless my eyes were playing a trick on me,
she was back on the bench.
Right, she's back on the bench. Yeah.
Yeah. Haven't heard. It was Taj Roberts is who we're talking about, by the way.
For those who don't know who we're talking about, yes.
I haven't heard if she's out yet or not. He had a press conference the other day, but that was mainly they got the senior day press conference out of the way because that game is on a Sunday.
Right.
And they're on the road tonight. So they just went ahead and got the senior day stuff out of the way. So I wasn't there. He may have mentioned it. I wasn't there. And so I haven't heard one way or the other.
Okay. Well, to be continued on that information. But right now, because we are we are headed toward the incredibly fun part of March and March Madness and all those things that comes along, I have questions that I need to ask my brother, Kendrick Haskins. And so I thought, would it be appropriate to come up with a new segment, game? You know, I'm a big gamer. I like games. My family knows this. It annoys the hell out of them, but so what? Game night in the Spence household. Matter of fact, I introduced a new game this past weekend. It was fantastic. Really, it was cool. But we're going to introduce a new game, and I hope you enjoy this, Kendrick. But this is still a work in progress. It's called Asking Haskins.
Somebody's using the AI component.
Hey! Production is not allowed to tell you their secrets, but yes.
Hey, that look good. Pop that up there again, though.
What's that again? What's that again? Nice.
That look good. That looks good.
And look at the class, all attentive and ready to ask questions to their professors or professor in dualities. I don't know why it mirror image. That was weird. So I'm definitely going to try this again because I'm like, why did you mirror images? That was stupid. But it looked good. Other than the mirror image, they look good. So we're going to be asking Kendrick Haskins a series of questions. I obviously watched too much Get Up, but I'm going to be asking him some questions about different things as it relates to the ACC and the NBA because we do 2 podcasts here. And so he's going to give us his expert opinion, and then I'm just going to say words and see what happens. But he's the expert. He is, he's the guy, right? He's the guy. He's the man. All right, let's get into our ACC questions first. So we talked about Duke, and I will ask you, do you believe in Duke? Now that you saw them play against Michigan, who was at the time Saturday the #1 team in the nation. I had not seen them play yet until Saturday, and I was like, okay.
That's a great
Do you
game.
believe in Duke? Like the rankings say, they are the #1 team in the nation. They are the best team in college sports.
I think Duke is really good. I don't think they're the #1 team in the country. I think Arizona fully healthy is the #1 team in the country.
Okay.
And then I guess you have to say Duke is better than Michigan because they beat them, but I don't know. I still think I'd take Michigan if they played again. I think it's Duke, it's Arizona, Duke, Michigan, whoever you want to go with that one, and then after that, because I have my concerns with Houston, because I kind of feel like if they're a team, they're so predicated on defense that if they get behind in a game, they can't really come back.
Yeah.
And then Texas Tech was up there before Toppin got hurt, and so I think after those top three, there's a little bit of a drop off because I don't believe in Kansas, and so they're wildly confusing. It's like they blew out Houston, we got blown out by Cincinnati the game before. Both of those games
so
at home.
weird.
So I think that's those top three, and then I think there's a drop off before you get to the next level.
So for me, I concur, and I'll even take it a step further. I watched that game Saturday, like all of you, and I walked away thinking both of these teams could win the national championship, and both of these teams could be out in the second round. Because they don't shoot well, either one of them. They're clearly, now you can say, oh well, the defenses that were being played at the highest level. Okay, I mean maybe that's true. I don't know.
But you know what's wild though?
Yeah,
because one of the other hottest teams in the country is Florida. They don't shoot the ball that well either.
They don't shoot the ball. So I walked away from Saturday going, I don't think I learned any more than I did before I started watching this game. Like I don't. Now I'll say this. The reason why they can win the national championship is both of them have a formidable front court. Like
Yes.
Their front court is almost impenetrable. Like you can't just go in there thinking you're going to score all willy-nilly. Right? So if Campbell, and by the way, I forget the kid's first name, but his last name is Evans. Young man, if you shoot that ball one more time, like I get it. And here's what he would never say this publicly, but it looked like there was a point in the first half where Kambuzu was visibly frustrated, like, I got it, bro. I got it. You try to help us win, but also let us help you win. Because I think he ultimately ended up shooting like some ridiculous number of like 4 of 19 or something crazy like that. It was some crazy number. And I was like, Jesus, man, you got to stop. You got to know you're trying to force the game to come to you. And that's not a recipe normally for success. Usually when you get on those streaky shooting binges like that in a game, it's because you let the game come to you. You took whatever they gave you. If they gave you the driving lane, you took the driving lane. If they gave you the wide open three or you caught it on the skip pass, whatever, then that's the shot that you were given and you're in rhythm. He was trying to make himself be in rhythm for the first. I was like, this is not working. You got to stop. And so, because I say that because I'm a former big, and I get frustrated when I watch guards.
Yeah, I think that's where it's coming from.
There's a little bit of bias there.
Because I mean, he struggled from 3 at 2 of 9. Talking about Isaiah Evans.
2 of 9 is a stop shooting stat.
Right, he is 5 of 15 total from the field, but I mean, he still had 14 points.
Well, yeah. If you're gonna shoot 19 times, then you're probably gonna get 14. Like
he shot 15 times, 14 points. That's not horrible.
So you're comfortable with a shot a point?
Well, I'm comfortable with him because he's made some big shots for them this season, and so I'm comfortable with him taking shots.
Well, let me say this: it's not the it's the type of shots that I thought he was taking that was frustrating to me. Like it felt. Most of the shots that I witnessed him take to me felt forced. Like we're in our sets, and instead of running the complete set, you broke away from the set and said, an inch of daylight. This is the shot. No, wait, give it a second. Like I'm not a huge fan of always shooting early in the shot clock unless that's our offense. Like if we're trying to come down and we're trying to put pressure on you. We're coming down in transition and we're putting pressure on you. That's different. But just to shoot early in the shot clock for the sake of doing it, that seems kind of weird sometimes. Like, give it a second to develop and just have a little bit of patience. And it didn't. So I wasn't that impressed. And then Michigan's guards, they were Now, I don't know if that's because Duke's guards guard the perimeter that much, that
They
well,
do,
but
and they do, and like Duke's guards have length, and
they made it
Michigan's
hard for
point guard is
Michigan's guard.
tiny.
Yeah,
So,
they made it very
yeah,
hard for
Cadeau
them.
is not very big. Yeah, and I mean that was the difference of the games. Cadeau struggled.
Yeah.
I mean he was 1 of 8 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3.
Right.
He still has 6 assists, but and only 1 turnover. So you'll take that from your point guard. But then
That's not
the other
that
guard
part.
didn't score at all.
Right.
Yeah, the other guard didn't score at all, and so that's Duke's length out front because Duke is long.
They are.
So their length out front is what gave Michigan trouble because Lindenborg is a beast, and then down low, and so they the front court was fine. They got 44 points from their front court.
Yeah,
But
the front court for both
back
teams,
court
I
kinda
think, is
let them down a
fantastic.
little
Yeah.
bit because of the size.
So
I mean, because the backcourt for Duke, I mean, you're talking about Evans, but still, him and Foster combined for 26 points on 9 of 24 shooting. That's not a bad game.
not the highest scoring game. So let's not
Yeah, it was only 68-63. So
right.
It was a
take that for what
defensive
it's
game.
worth. Well, that's what Jay Billick
And
said.
then
Jay Billick said. He said this was like a pitcher's duel. I was like, okay. I mean, that's what you want to tell
it was
me.
very physical.
I'll buy it. Right. I'll
neither
go
team
with
shot
you on
the ball. Duke shot 45% for the game, which is not bad. Michigan was 40.
I walked away from the game thinking one thing. If the right veteran, older, mid-major came along that can shoot, both these teams could be out easy. It wouldn't be hard to put these teams
I
out.
wouldn't say that.
When I say easy, I'm saying when I say easy, I'm saying they could be beat. They could be beat. Like a weird scenario of I don't know, mid-major X start shooting the ball well. They don't fear Duke's guards. They have the requisite size in the backcourt to put that type of pressure on them, and it just get hot. You don't have to be great for 7 games. You have to be great for 1 game, and you're playing with house money because it's Duke or it's Michigan. So you can see a scenario where one of those. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen in the first round. I don't think that's going to happen in the first round because both of them should get number 1 seeds. But could it happen in the second round? Could it happen in the Sweet 16? Absolutely. Absolutely. And also, they can play each other in the national championship.
I was saying, the only reason I'm going to give you pushback is because, for one, ain't going to be that many mid-majors in the tournament this year.
Okay. So all the more reason why what I'm saying might be true. It could be a major that gets hot. Because you only got to get hot one time.
You can say that about every team in the tournament, though. Every year.
I agree. and again, that's what's making my point. I don't think I walked away thinking that either of these teams were a lock. And that's crazy to say for 2 teams that are 25-2. But at the same time, I don't think I'm wrong. I don't think the top 8 teams.
I think what you're saying is just you don't think anybody is a dominant.
There's no dominant team. I was expecting maybe one team to exert a little more dominance than it did. And I walked away thinking, not only are these teams evenly matched, but their flaws are right up front. And if you can find a way to put that down, find a way. What is that? But if you can find a way to put that type of pressure on their backcourt, it could be interesting.
I think like I said, I believe in Duke this year. Only thing that gives me pause with Duke is the same thing. It's the same thing that gave you pause last year, but they still was a Final Four team. They don't have much depth.
They don't have any depth.
But they didn't last year either, and they went to the Final Four. So,
but eventually it did catch up to them.
But Cooper Flag and Cameron Boozer, they're very it's so weird how similar these teams are. How these Duke teams are from last year, because last year was Cooper Flag and Malawak. This year it's Cameron Boozer and Gongba.
Yeah.
Because and their front court, they keep having these very strong front courts, and then they let the guards come along as they do, and they're built the same way again this year. And I think they're going to make another Final Four run.
I think it's going to be hard to beat them. Same thing with Michigan, as long as they're locked in. But
Michigan, I mean, I don't know. You haven't watched them. Like you're going off one game. Michigan is blowing out teams.
No. I've seen enough of the highlights and all this stuff, and I agree with you. They've been blowing everybody out. They look like.
I mean, they walked into Purdue and beat them by. It was 11, but it wasn't that close.
But I don't know how good Purdue is. Like, I just don't know.
But at Purdue is always.
Yeah. I just don't know how good anyone truly is, and I think we're just looking for. But see, I say all that, and people are going to walk away like, man, so that means I need to fill out a upset base bracket. I'm like, I don't know about that. Like, let's slow down with that. Yeah, slow down with that. But I just don't know if there is no dominant for sure team. The closest, I think, I agree with you in that maybe Arizona still is.
I think Arizona is. Yeah. Once Koa comes back.
That's the one team I have looked at this year and said, okay, they might be for real. By the way, since we're at Duke, do you believe in the Duke women? One of the best stories in college basketball right now.
I do, because of their length, and they you can tell they're very well coached. And so, yeah, I think it's one of those things where you're not used to Duke women being, especially the way they started the season.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I do believe in them. I do think Louisville could beat them if they play them again. But their length is going to give teams problems. And guess what? That's what Louisville's Achilles heel is too. So what hurt them against Virginia is like length really gives this U of L women's team problems, and Duke has that.
Well, let's be clear as we head to number 2 of Asking Haskins. The irony of the Duke men and women's team is that the Duke or the Louisville men and women's team are essentially having some of the same problems. Length is a problem. Their front courts are a problem. And here's what's crazy about Louisville's. They're getting great offensive production from their front court. It's just not translating to great defense always, and it's problematic. Now, that's on the women's side. Now, on the men's side, oh, boy. So can Louisville, who has, on the men and women's side, reasonably favorable schedules, can they finish strong?
Louisville women should finish strong. See, they're at Georgia Tech tonight, and then they're at home against Notre Dame, and they beat Notre Dame by 13 points at Notre Dame earlier in the season. So they should win out.
That should go well.
I think they'll finish strong. The U of L men, on the other hand, while
they got 2
somewhat
in a row,
favorable,
Clemson and Miami, and then they got Syracuse at home, but those are winnable games.
They could win all 3.
Yeah.
Miami's tricky because Miami's had a really good season.
Yeah. And also, they could lose 2 out of the 3.
If we're being honest, they could lose all 3.
They could lose all 3. So your gut tells you what?
I think they will. My gut tells me they're going to go 2-1.
Okay.
I have a feeling they're going to lose tonight.
You have a
not tonight, but on Saturday.
Oh, I was okay. Wow, I was like, wow, geez, okay.
It's Saturday. No, it's the men. I have a feeling the men are going to lose on Saturday. Then they'll beat Syracuse, and I think they'll win at Miami.
Why? Because Clemson's so desperate.
Clemson's desperate, and Clemson was good most of the season. They just kind of they've hit a rough patch.
Yeah, not in the top 25 anymore. And I don't know if they're legitimately a bubble team, but I think they've slid to such a degree that it's,
they've lost 4 straight games. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're sliding
10-5, but they're 10-5 in the conference, but they've lost 4 straight games.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to them. I mean, they lost at home by 10 to Virginia Tech.
Which shouldn't be happening.
No, I mean they lost by 13 at Duke, which is no shade. That's no, I mean,
Yeah,
Duke,
everybody's losing to Duke.
Duke at home, yeah, especially at home.
Yeah, get in line.
And then they lost at Wake Forest. They lost at home to Florida State. But in Louisville's history, as you well know, these are the type of games, no matter who the coach is, that Louisville tends to lose.
Yes.
So
yes, this is not unprecedented.
That's like I was saying that about when they played Baylor, because Baylor desperately needed a signature win to make the tournament. It's like usually U of L ends up being team's signature win, but they
we'll
did
help
pull
you
that
out.
game. They did pull that game out, and so we'll see. I think they'll. It's hard for me to envision Clemson losing 5 straight and 3 of those being at home, but I mean,
they're accommodating right now. They're like
they are very accommodating right now.
Yeah, we'll help you out. We'll help you out. Can North Carolina win without Caleb? Not projected to be back until March is his projection time. I think it was his personal projection. I'm not sure. The doctor told him that.
Right.
But he said, I'd like to be back for March. I don't know what that means. March has 31 days. So when in March are you saying you're going to be back? Can they win without him? They looked good for a half against Louisville. And then Louisville probably should have won that game. There were a lot of stuff that happened toward the end of that game that was very questionable. But
Louisville also went a long stretch without scoring.
Well, listen, you can't go down as many points as Louisville went down and not, you got to claw your way out of that. Like that's not an easy climb. So,
I think North Carolina can beat average teams. I don't think they're going to beat a good team. They're not going to beat a Duke without Caleb. They're not going to beat. Let me look at the standings.
He said he's gonna be back by the time North Carolina goes to Duke. That's what he said.
He's also 19
with all of his medical experience. He said, "I'll be back by the time."
So that's March 7th. That's next Saturday.
That's next Saturday. He said, "I'll be back by then."
More power to him.
Virginia Tech at home, Clemson at home, and then on the road to Duke, which is just right down the street. Feels like they could go at least 2-1. They should be able to beat Virginia Tech. The desperation of Clemson is the X factor.
Yes.
Clemson is fighting for their lives right now. Clemson is R. Kelly in a Gayle King interview right now. They're fighting for their lives. And so, I don't know. Saturday will tell us a lot about Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson, if they lose this game, they could knock them out of the tournament.
Could be bad for Clemson at that point. They may need a
They're squarely on the bubble.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. All right. So I think I agree that they should be able to get through at least 2 of these games. I don't see how they beat Duke without him because they barely beat him with him.
Right.
It took a 3-pointer at the buzzer and not by Caleb to win the game. But so I don't know. All right. Question 4. The coach that needs a great run the most is the coach of what team? I guess we got to go back to Clemson. Like, I don't think he's on the hot seat, but
I don't think anybody's on the hot seat right now in the ACC. To be
I don't think so.
Most of the coaches are new.
I don't think so, but I'm going to float something here to you that our very own Charlie Ward is not going to like. Florida State is not having a great season.
His first year coach, though. They're 14-14.
That's it. Well, is that a great season? It's 500.
It's not a great season. It's for a first year coach. It's a decent season.
Okay.
Considering where they were last year.
I'll just say this. Tallahassee is a small town. And I'll leave it there for now.
His first year coach, he's fine.
Okay. I'm not saying he'll get fired this year. I'm saying he could, if let's keep looking at you. Stop acting like you don't know where I'm going with this.
I know where you're going. I'm just ignoring
Let's
you.
just keep looking at the trajectory and seeing where everybody's doing, and because one coach is doing it despite the resources, and the other coach is not doing it, or he's kind of barely getting by with the resources.
It's first year.
Mm-hmm. It is with the resources.
Do we really know how much resources they have? I mean, Florida State hadn't been good in a while.
They just
It's been a couple of years since they've been relevant.
which might be but are they not getting the resources because of what?
I mean, you had Leonard Hamilton forever. I mean, if he wasn't getting the resources, nobody gonna get him.
Okay, then. So
they only lost by 3 to Virginia, who's number 15.
There you go. So I'm way ahead of this.
They won at Clemson.
Right. He's fine. I'm sure he's fine.
You're just rooting for our boy, man. This is his first.
I'm always rooting for our boy.
Fine.
Let's start with that. I'm always rooting
only
for
got
our guy.
one. I mean, they only lost by 4 to Duke. I mean, I don't know what happened against NC State when they got hammered, but NC State's weird though.
Well, yeah, as long as they're at home, they're fine.
Because they get, when they lose, they lose.
They lose spectacularly. They lose spectacularly with full-throated losing. But when they win,
they lost
it's like,
wow. Virginia beat them by 29. U of L beat them by 41.
They don't mess around. They don't mess around with losing.
They did only lose by 1 to Miami, but they've lost 3 of their last 4. But the one they won, they blew out North Carolina. But like you said, it was at home.
It's a rivalry game.
They lost to Miami at home. Yeah, everything around there is a rivalry game.
Yeah, I guess it's technically a rivalry game. It's not the greatest rivalry, but it's, you would think that it would be a big. But NC State doesn't win like that either, so that's why it's not a great rivalry game.
I think as long as Kadir Copeland is your best player, this is what you're going to get.
Why are we slamming Kadir Copeland?
I'm not. He's all over the place. And so he's either on or he's off. I can't believe he averages 6.8 assists per game. That stuns me.
Maybe it's the ball just falling out of his hands into the other.
Well, I think it's one of those things that he's not passing it unless you are going to score.
Right. Like you're right by the rim. There's no one there. Right. Or you're completely wide open. And yeah.
He was not. Against Louisville, that dude was not passing the ball.
Didn't see one shot he didn't like. He said, "I'm open, dude. There's 3 people on you. I can see that.
I can see a glimpse of orange.
We're fine. So I think we both agree the most important game left on the schedule is North Carolina Duke, and every game that Clemson has left.
For ACC standings, Clemson, that every game, not just Clemson, every game that's in that little pack with NC State, North Carolina, Clemson, they're all 3-10-5. So for seeding purposes, every game those 3 play is important.
Well, NC State's got to crack 20 to have any shot to get a turn. They got to crack 20, which I think. No, you got to get. Nah,
they're gonna get 20. They're at 19 now.
Well, as I said, you got it. So for them, at SMU, they got to crack 20 if they want to get in the tournament. Because
I think NC State.
I think NC State's going to get in.
Yeah, because like I said, they got 3 games left, and they're 19-9 with 3 games, and they're at Notre Dame on Saturday. So
I feel comfortable saying 8 teams are in. Although I don't feel like super comfortable, but if Louisville's in, because Louisville's still ranked, California has to be in, right?
Yeah. California's
they essentially got the same record.
They do have the same. They it's not essentially they have the exact same record,
right?
So
I'm saying in the conference, there's a difference. The strength of schedule. Well, the thing that's helping Louisville more than anything else is that they didn't duck anybody. They played a pretty significant schedule, And
granted, they didn't beat anybody, but
they didn't beat anybody on the schedule, but they did. But also, they didn't necessarily get like they took some other than the Duke loss. No one really hammered them away.
Yeah, they did. Arkansas hammered them. Tennessee hammered them.
Well,
they came
Arkansas,
back against
89-80, right?
They came back in the game.
The Tennessee game didn't look great. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've got 3 blowout losses.
Okay.
Because SMU was a 10-point, but that
now
was
the SMU was not
they
good.
Scored. That was a game where SMU literally hit everything.
Right.
And they got that game was close all the way. That final score is not indicative of the game.
Right.
Just like the Arkansas score is not indicative of that game. They were down about 20-something in that game.
Okay. I still think ACC gets 8 in. I think they're still getting 8. Yeah. I think possibly 9, but for sure.
I think it's let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think SMU gets in. So
Clemson has to stop sliding. They got to steal one of these games. One or two of these games.
Clemson's got to win a game, and they may need to win a game in the tournament.
One more in the tournament, and I think that 22 and something should get them in.
Yeah.
Should get them in.
Yeah, I think the only team – I think it stops at SMU. So I think the top 9 teams will all probably get in.
I think so. The visual of California is not great, but it might be enough to get them in. Just looking at the rankings, I mean not the rankings, but the what their overall record is, and because there's so much parity in the ACC this year, it might be because the other teams are good as well, and the conference is strong. The committee might say, yeah, but California did this in the second most or third most strongest conference in the country. So let's give them a break.
It's crazy because I'm looking at the Big 12. They're 8. They'll get 8 in.
They'll get 8 strong. They'll get 8 easy.
Well, actually, TCU's got work to do because they would be the 8th team. They're 18 and 10.
But so I think TCU has a couple of good wins.
They do, but I think they also had that 4-game losing streak in the middle of the season.
Yeah, they need to knock that off.
They also got beat by 16 at Colorado.
That's not good.
That's
not good.
So they still got a little bit of work to do. They got opportunities though, because they're at Kansas State on Saturday. They should win that. At Texas Tech is winnable, and then they come home for Cincinnati. So if they win out, I think they get in.
Okay, I got a couple of football ACC questions for you. You ready for this? Mm-hmm. Did you see this? Chandler Morris is seeking a 7th year. Your thoughts on children not wanting to leave the nest?
These ain't children. These are grown-ass men, dog.
Grown men.
7th year in college, that means you're at least 25.
With families. Man, it's probably got a mortgage and marriage and diapers. Jesus, man.
What's his history? Did he have a bunch of red shirts or injuries or whatever?
I would imagine so. It's he's got stuff. That's what they're filing. I've got stuff that happened to me, and I had an ankle twist, and so that cost me like it's whatever. It's the same old story over and over on a loop right now. It's you're not projected high. Here's the reality for those who don't know what's going on. These players are not projected high. Their agents are telling them they're not projected high in the NFL draft. They could stand now to make more money not going to the NFL than they would going to the NFL. So they're trying to get the best bang for their buck by staying.
And let's be honest, it's real life. They're not going to step out of college football and make the kind of money that they're making playing football.
That they could make in this 1 year. I honestly, if I were in a similar situation, I'm not 100% sure I wouldn't do the exact same thing.
I probably would do the exact same thing.
Yeah. And you would too. Watching today or whenever you're watching, you probably would too. It's okay, but it is annoying.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, these are grown men now. He's gonna be in the locker room. Say he gets it. He's 25 years old. He's gonna be in the locker room with a kid that's 18.
Well, and then not only that, to fight so hard for this,
he'll be in the locker room with a kid that was in middle school his freshman year in college.
Right. Well, that's wild. That's so wild to say that out loud. Not only that, but you've kind of sealed your fate one way or the other. Because if you don't get the appeal, you can't. I don't know when the last day of declaration to the draft is, but it's got to be. We've got to be right there.
I mean, the combine's going on now, so it has.
Right, the combine is like literally today. Yeah,
it had to have passed by now.
So that means you're forfeiting everything.
Like I said, if I'm the kid, I don't blame him for trying. But my thing is this hurts the high school kids. That's 100%. A high school kid who hasn't made that money yet. They could be getting that spot, and so that's what I don't like about it. I understand them because, like I said, if you're a 7th-year quarterback, you ain't going to the league. If you ain't there by now, I mean, Tyler Sharp barely got in the league. And so now he got in the league and ball, but he barely got in the league and he played 6 years. And so most likely, unless you have an amazing season, but I don't even think they're worried about the league at this point. It's just like, okay, I'm making this much money playing football. When I leave, all that's over. I got to go get a real job where I'm entry level and I'm not going to be making $250,000. Right. However much they're making. 100%. So I get it, but at some point we got to think about the high school kids who are coming out.
Speaking of the future, as we just stated, the combine is starts today, and there are some very interesting conversations that are already happening out of the combine, one of which is the arm length of Ruben Bain. People are questioning his arm length.
It's always something stupid.
Well, I was going to look at the camera and say, and to that I say to you people, you're idiots.
As a Cowboy fan, I'm like, all right, go ahead, don't pick it. Let him fall right down to me.
We have formidable edge rushers now. And I still would say, if he's there, take it. He's that good. I think he's the best overall player of the draft. What are your thoughts?
Well, you know me. I was saying he should have won the Heisman.
I 100% agree. He's so...
He did have a few games where he kind of played himself out of it. But, yeah, I mean, he is a freak of nature.
But that's understandable. Yeah, that's kind of understandable based on the fact that when a team plays against him, you wake up saying the first thing that you do when you played Miami this year, it was not how we stop Carson Beck. It's what are we going to do to contain Ruben Bain?
Ruben Bain and Mesidor.
And Mesidor. That's how do we stop that? That's our whole game plan is real. That was Indiana. Indiana was like, if we don't stop these guys or figure out how to slow them down, we have no shot. And by the way, for a little while, it looked like they had no shot.
I mean, that's what Louisville did against them. They got the ball out fast. That's just not Indiana's offense, but that's what Louisville did to beat them is they got the ball out fast. They didn't give them a chance to get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And so, and even then, still barely won the game despite Miami turning the ball over every other possession. Yeah. By the way, I think Bain is probably the best player in this draft.
By the way, this is the part of the year that I absolutely in football loathe. Because they've already started. You know they've already started. And Fernando Mendoza, Dan Orlovsky, first thing this morning, well, I watched 7 games and I was so underwhelmed. He's just not throwing the ball well in those 7 games. And it's getting it out slow. And man, first of all, don't do that. Why is that necessary? Can the teams just go ahead and do their own evaluation? Why do we need you to do it? Like, especially with all due respect.
Come on. He's got 4 hours of TV to do today. They've got
and that's the part that's frustrating because it's like this is going to go on through April.
Yeah,
they're going to pick this kid apart.
I mean, that's why I hate this time of year
Yeah.
football wise, because they don't have anything to talk about, but they have to talk about it. So what do? They just start tearing down players.
They're going to pick this kid apart like he's on the side of the road, roadkill. Like it's going to be crazy. So,
And then for the people that's like, why aren't they making a big deal that Mendoza's not throwing at the combine when they did with Shador?
oh yeah, I heard that too.
I'm like, but Mendoza won the Heisman and the national championship. He doesn't have to throw. He's projected as the number 1 pick in the draft.
For all of those, for all of those people who are making that narrative and trying to turn this into a racial situation, I understand the racial tension that we have in this country right now. So
this ain't one
I get it. This is not one of them. You're reaching.
Right.
Because go back and look at the last 10 years of the draft and name me the guys who either won the Heisman or were the projected number 1s that threw at the combine. I'll wait.
Right.
It doesn't happen. And rightfully so. Why would you? If you are the projected number 1, why would you throw?
Right.
Not throwing for you here.
It's just like
guys that don't know. First of all, let's be clear. And shout out to our guy Byron Lusby, who was on with us Tuesday, and I asked him point blank, "Hey man, how realistically, from behind the curtain, how important is the combine to what your team is going to do?" He said there's only 2 things that are important: the interview, what you sound like in the room in the interview, and what was the other thing he said? It was the interview, and we just want to see your measurables.
Yeah.
Oh, he said, but the other thing that we're looking at is the tape. We're just looking at tape. We've already evaluated who you are. We know who you are when we get there. We just want to see if you're a butthole or not once we get you in the room. Which, by the way, if you want to know why Shador slid, and listen, there are no bigger fans of Shador than this show.
Right.
We love the kid. Still love the kid. Want him to be and do great things. We understand him because Shador to me is a cultural problem, not a he's a cultural problem because he's built and cut from a different cloth that unless you understand that cloth or you've worn that cloth before, you don't get it. I can understand how being on the outside of this culture, you don't get a Shador. It reeks of arrogance, except that it's not. It's just not. He's not built that way. It's very, very confident. And if you look at his daddy and his mama, you get it. He's not going to be raised to be passive.
Yeah, that intimidates some folks. So.
Yeah, I get it. I get the narrative, but it's not real. I do want to bring this up to you before we head out.
Yeah,
of the
but like
when
those are this nonsense.
Yeah, it's pure nonsense. I'm glad you brought that up, Duke. I forgot about that story, but you're 100% correct. I do have one other story that I'd like to bring up, and this was very, very interesting. It kind of fell on my radar. What just happened? A trade? Oh, okay. We'll get to that. That's interesting. That's very interesting. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. That's an interesting trade. Okay. All right. There's an article that came out yesterday, and I'll read the title to you, and then I'd love to get your thoughts after I give you a little background. Street agents exploiting athletes in NIL deals, coaches warn. And there's a quote, shout out to Paula. I'm assuming it's Lavigné because it's Lavigné. That feels like Lavigné to me. Like French, could be French, but could be Levine.
I don't know. That French part of Compton.
She's from that French part of Compton. Throw up your set. No, I'm just playing.
That you claim.
So they said so-called street agents who typically aren't certified agents or even attorneys recruit players around the edges of the game and promise to represent them in pursuit of college scholarships or deals for their name, image, and likeness. Street agents existed under the table in the pre-NIL era, but their prevalence and their dollar amounts involved have grown exponentially in the new college sports era. Quote Joe Martin of the Texas High School Coaches Association, I think it's almost a crisis, to be honest. We've got situations where we have the street agents moving kids from place to place and representing them that are charging them a lot more money than they should be charging them. And I thought to myself, moving them from place to place. that's been happening long before NIL. And I'm looking at you, Trinity, and Say Next. I'm looking at you, Prestonwood, and Plano, Texas, and other places where Prestonwood, where who played? Julius Randle. Know that one very well, actually. Know that situation very well. I'm saying, why is this a street agent thing all of a sudden? Because folk been moving. Folk been relocating, Kendrick. They've been relocating.
But with NIL though, they do have agents now. The top ones.
Well, no, but they're not. They don't have a problem with agents. They have a problem with street agents. Is what the article is about. Street agents are often former players, trainers, parents, coaches, or just people who say they have a connection to NIL collectives. Do y'all not realize, Paula? Maybe Paula didn't know, because AAU is built on street agents.
Well, now they're more prevalent now, I guess.
Don't do that. Are you buying into this for real?
I'm trying to figure out why they wrote the article.
Because you know what it is? It's somebody finally becoming aware of something that's been going along for like 15, 20 years. This is not new.
Well, there are more now with NIL. There are more agents involved in college football now.
There are more agents coming out of the shadows. Street agents, in her theory, have always been around basketball and football, but now they're not in the shadows. Do you understand where I'm going with this? Okay, all right. I knew you would get where I was going. I'm like, Nike literally built an entire street agent thing. And then Adidas said, we've got the copy.
Adidas thing, they got U of L in trouble with Bond.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, what is this article really about? Like, I don't understand what you're writing about, because this is not a new thing.
It's another angle. At the end of the day, it's another way of saying we don't like NIL at the end of the day. And it's like, get over it. I'm so sick of hearing about NIL. And it's saying, because I deal with it with the school up the road from us.
Yeah.
Because ever since it came out that Kentucky spent $22 million on their roster, every time they lose, first thing the fans go to, $22 million, it didn't come out your pocket. Shut up.
Right.
And then
you contributed nothing. So what are we talking? What are we really talking about at this point?
And then like you know, I've gone on ad nauseum about Jaden Quaintance, and they complaining and whining that he's not playing. I'm like, he tore his ACL. I mean, it was more than an ACL. It was an ACL and an MCL. I mean, it was a major surgery, and he came back 3 months early, and he couldn't go. Now they're saying he's still. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah, I'm
don't. So sick of the whining about NIL.
Well, I'm kind of sick of them talking about street agents, because if I'm a young 17-year-old superstar and I'm being thrust into a situation where people are saying they're about to give me hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of dollars, who's the first person I'm gonna trust? Some dude that I've never met before that barely knows my last name, and I'm only on his radar because I can hoop? Or am I gonna trust my Uncle Leroy, who's been in my life my whole entire time?
I mean, aka Kawhi Leonard and his uncle.
That's all I'm saying. You're a hood dude that ain't never been in and never had nothing. Who do you think they're gonna trust?
Right.
So this feels really like, why are we writing this article? Why are we really writing this article?
Well, you know why.
Okay. and that's why I brought it to your attention, because I'm not here for the foolishness. Y'all got to stop. Leave these folk alone. This ain't a problem when Lane Kiffin takes his NIL deal. Ain't nobody saying nothing.
And like and we're not saying anything that the non-street agent or the regular agents are the one who are doing all these deals behind the scenes. So when the coach gets up there and he's like, I've never talked to such and such team, right? He hasn't. His attorney and his agent has. His street agent.
His street agents literally went and did a deal while his team was fighting for the playoffs.
Right.
That's okay? You're okay with that? It's the hypocrisy for me.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. All right. That was just something that got on me. Got on me, and I needed to get it out. I got it out. I feel better. All right. Let's jump on into, just for time's sake, let's just go on over there. We won't even play the song, although I love the song. Love the song. Love the song. but we're going to go on over to Press and Pros right now. And let's start with some not breaking news, but yeah, breaking news. James Harden fractured his thumb. Did not play last night.
On a shooting hand, or
I'm not sure exactly so the way I understood the story is that I think it's a shooting hand, and I think it's fractured, but not to the point where he doesn't think it's going to cost him the season or he's going to have to sit out a lot of games.
It's his right thumb, so it's not a shooting hand.
It's not a shooting hand. Okay, so it sounds like despite he's just set because of pain and trying to deal with whatever it is for now, but it's not going to require surgery. They're figuring out a treatment plan for it, and he's going to probably finish the season. So he'll have
who plans to play through the injury.
Yeah. So
it will not require surgery. So
yeah,
just treatment.
So it's just something to keep your eye on, like. But he's not playing that much defense anyway, so it might not even matter.
Well, because I looked up and saw they lost at Milwaukee. I was like, how did it happen? Oh, because Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley all sat out that game.
Right. They decided not to play, most of them. So it's interesting. It's just an interesting story to keep your eyes on as this season continues to unfold, because they are building some continuity with that backcourt for sure. And Jared Allen hasn't looked this good in 2 years. Like he looks like what we all thought Jared Allen would look like.
I'm a big Jared Allen fan. I love
I am too.
I love his game. I don't know how him and Mobley haven't taken that next step. And I think they are going to take that next step. I think they should be. They have the potential to be the best front court in the league.
I'll tell you exactly how. I'll tell you exactly how. Darius Garland, with all due respect to his game, and I think Darius Garland is a great player, he's not a real true point guard. He's a scoring guard, and that can pass every now and then.
He's more of a point guard than what they have now. His problem is he's not available.
Well, that's also a big part. Well, no, I disagree. I think James is actually better for them than Darius is. James is at least going to hit you with a lob at the rim, which is all you.
I won't disagree with you there. I do think James is. I mean, I kind of think they got a steal there.
They did. Not even sure how they pulled it off, if I'm being honest with you. A guy that doesn't play ever for a guy that never misses a game, that doesn't feel like an even trade.
Well, when James Harden is ready to go, you get him out of there as fast as you can, because he will make a mess of your organization.
And that's the other part. That's the
first thing they got.
Well, that's true. That is true. The Clippers are like, what you doing Saturday? Yeah, the bus is gonna be here. If you don't mind getting on it. Okay. So as we announced earlier today, we're asking Haskins. And so we're going to get into some NBA questions with our guy here. And my first one is, are we overlooking Detroit? I keep hearing Boss's name. We just talked about Cleveland. Everybody's saying Spurs. Everybody's saying Thunder. But Detroit looks
I don't think they're being overlooked. I just think people when you have a young team like that that's never made the run before, there's always going to be questions. And then when you have a team like Boston, who is experienced, who's having an unexpected, to me personally, I don't know why people are so shocked that Boston is still competitive in an Eastern Conference that wasn't that good this year, and they still have Jaylen Brown. Yeah. I was like, Jaylen Brown's gonna have a breakout season. I said that in the summer. So,
yeah, you did.
So it's just that they're young. When you never seen them do it before, and then the Spurs are getting a little of that too. People are like, "Oh, Spurs are going to be good, but they've never made the run before. Can we trust them?" And so, I think that's what it is. I don't think they're really necessarily being overlooked because they have the best record in the conference right now, in the Eastern Conference. And so, and they just played the Thunder last night. I think they won that game.
They won that game, but also
the Thunder didn't have anybody playing.
Right,
so, right. But I do like Detroit. I don't think they'll make the run this year necessarily. I think they're still maybe another year or two away, but they're coming though.
Cade looks the part. Let's start
Definitely.
there. Cade looks the part. They got their anchor for sure. Duran looks the part.
Mm-hmm.
I love Duran around the rim. I would argue that the Cade Duran combo is starting to become one of the most formidable combos in the NBA. Like, I didn't realize he was as physical as he was until I watched the All-Star game. I'm like, this kid is like a house. Like, he's a huge human
I
being.
told you who Jalen Duran is. He's Orlando Woolridge.
He is. He's like, but he might be a better version. He might be a better.
He's a better,
of
maybe.
yeah.
Well, he's a more modern version of him, but
Yeah.
like he's built just like him. His face looks just like him.
He's massive. I was like, Jesus, man,
Yeah.
you are a huge human. So yeah, I like what they're doing. I really, really like what they're doing. I think the media doesn't want to take them seriously because of their youth. But there was another team that was young too, named the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that turned out pretty well in 2 years. Now, I agree with you. They may be way ahead of schedule.
Yeah, and plus, I mean, the Thunder were young when they won it last year, but they made the run the year before too.
And that's my point. I think this is their year. This is their first year to go as deep as they can go, and then next year they may be unstoppable. We'll see where it goes.
It'll be interesting next year, especially if the Celtics keep it together, which I think they will. Then you got something.
I don't know. I still don't know. I still don't know if I believe that.
You've been saying that for 3 years, and they
don't want to spend the money. It's about the money. It's about the money.
They'll get rid of the other contracts. They're not getting rid of either one of them.
Listen. It's hard to get two superstars. It's about to be almost impossible to shelter two superstars and still have a formidable team. But people are going to have to figure it out, and that's what. So, I'll get into that in a minute because we're going to get into an interesting.
I mean, you're going to have. I was going to say you said that, but we also think that Giannis is going to end up with the Lakers. You're going to have two superstars.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how people do it and what they're going to be willing to do it. That's the real question. Question number 2: are we taking Jokic for granted? I think we are.
Man, we do, but man, I've got a new game that I like to play when I watch the Nuggets, and it's watch Jokic on defense. It's as entertaining as he is on offense. Him on defense is hilarious. I now figured out why he gets so many rebounds. Jokic does not guard anybody. But it's funny. He literally stands in the lane, and then he'll move out of the lane to avoid the 3-second violation occasionally. It was one possession I watched last night. I mean, he was in the lane a good 10 seconds, never moved. It's hilarious. And he's like, he does not move at all.
I want to be very clear about the next statement that I'm about to make, because I'm a member of the Big Man Alliance. I'm not on the board or anything like that, but I'm in the room. And as a member of the Big Man Alliance, I don't understand what the problem is.
Because as much as we get on Luka about his defense, Jokic is every bit as bad. It's just we don't notice it because it's down in the paint.
I don't understand what the problem is. Because guess what? If I'm putting up a triple-double every game, the last thing I'm about to do is give you all this defensive work.
Last thing I want people to think is like I'm throwing shade. I'm not.
No, you're not.
Watching Jokic play. It's because it's the most nonsensical thing in the history of the league is that he's this good. Because it makes zero sense.
He is. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. We are really watching a generational talent on the level of the LeBron and the Steph Currys, and he should be mentioned in those conversations. Now, what makes his generationalness more dynamic is that there appears to be no discernible athletic talent whatsoever. Like he can't run, he can't jump. And his jump shot looks god awful. And yet he never misses.
It's a set shot from behind his head.
From behind his head. He is breaking all of basketball's rules. You got to be in shape. No, you don't. You have to shoot a certain way. No, you don't.
Even like when he shoots threes, it's not like a catch and shoot. He catches the ball and he's looking to pass it first. And then if he doesn't have anything, he's like, all right, I'll shoot it.
And by the way, when he slowly hawks those big arms behind his head, literally behind his head, to shoot those last second threes from almost at half court, you're thinking there's no way that's going in, and then it always goes in.
That's the other thing. He makes them off one foot.
He
made one last night falling out of bounds.
This touch around the basket can only be compared to Hakeem Olajuwon. That's it. That's the list. Like, it's insane. I study his footwork.
I'll give Kareem a good touch around the basket.
I would say no.
I'm not saying better. I'm saying in that realm.
You're not gonna like people. The OGs ain't gonna like what I'm about to say. Jokic's touch around the basket is better. It's better. It is. I'm sorry. It is. It's more fluid, even though it looks clumsy, but it's actually fluid. If you watch what he's doing, it's fluid. His quick turns, all the stuff that you're taught to do as a big. He does it, and he does it very, very well. But it looks clumsy, like he's stumbling around. Oh my God, that's the frustrating part about it, because he'll back turn you so fast, and you don't have time to even think about that he's about to do it. It's unbelievable.
He is so deceptively quick. He's slow as molasses running.
Right.
Rim to rim, you're not going to call him a rim runner.
No. But in the box of his space, he'll kill you every time.
When he gets it on the low post, he is so quick when he decides to go that spin move or whatever move he's going to put on you is so quick. It's lightning quick, like point guard quick.
Yeah.
That's just nothing you can do about it.
And he's got every shot. He's got
every shot.
He's got the floater. He's got bank shots. Whatever work you want to get. You know what? I'll give you another comparison. It has a similar tone offensively to Tim Duncan. It's so fundamentally sound that it's frustrating.
The only difference is that he doesn't use the glass like Tim did.
He doesn't use the glass as much, right? He can, but it's not his go-to.
Yeah.
But he
had a play last night against the Celtics where he went in, got his shot block, got it back, and he's like, "Oh, I just need to adjust it a little bit." And he shot it just a little bit higher. Goes in and draws the foul.
And you know why he got his shot blocked? Is because he can't jump. It's so frustrating. If you were a center in the NBA playing against Jokic, you got to be pulling your hair out because you're like, I don't understand why I can't stop
Anthony
this guy.
Davis literally does pull his hair out.
I used to watch. Listen, I watched Anthony Davis for 3 years straight. Stand in his face, hand in his face. This is about as good as you can guard a human being. That Joker would slowly raise them arms up, lean the ball all the way behind his head, and hit his shot.
Off one foot.
Off one foot. And if you're Anthony Davis, you're like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer. It's frustrating, bro.
Just to watch him on defense is so funny because the dude does not move. He did have to move a little bit because Yusevich was in it for the Celtics that they got from the Bulls.
Yeah,
he can shoot threes, so Jokic did have to get out on him a little bit. But
if I were Jokic, I wouldn't care what you thought about my defense. I'm not trying to make first team defense ever. I don't care.
Vucevic.
Yeah, Vucevic. Yeah, I don't care what you think. I
don't care either. Like I said, I don't even want it to come off as
no. You're doing fine. You're doing fine.
It's just comedy.
You know what my defense is? You know what my defense is on Jokic? This triple double I just gave you. This work I just gave. That's my defense. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. That's a great answer you just gave, by the way. Great answer. Let's see if you have another one in you. Are the Spurs top to bottom too young and too early for this great success? They are the number 2 team in the conference and have been all season long. They are the kryptonite currently for a healthy Oklahoma City Thunder team. And they are only 2 games back with the tiebreakers. And SGA seems to not be coming anytime soon.
The only team that gives me pause with them, with their youth, is the team we were just talking about. the Nuggets.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
The top 3 teams, well, you say Houston, but I don't consider Houston, with all due respect. I don't think Houston is. Now, I will say this about Denver. Their defense is awful. It is awful. It's god awful. Now, you could say that's because of Aaron Gordon. Okay, but I don't think he makes that much of a difference on defense. They are the bottom tier.
He makes a big difference on defense because he can make up for Jokic not moving. And he blocks shots, and he's long.
He's
such a difference maker for that team.
I'm curious to see what's going to happen when he comes back because they're bad. They are bad. They're winning games because they can outscore you. They can put up 120 points a game, which is the most in the conference. I think it's the most in the NBA. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the most in the NBA.
I'm looking at it now. They're definitely most in the conference.
Yeah.
If
I'm not mistaken, it's the most in the NBA.
It is the most. You know who's second? You're never going to guess who's second. You'll never guess who's second in the league.
You had a nice little freeze going there. That was cool.
Am I still froze?
We were both froze. They just froze in the middle of the show. Yeah.
All right, so, are you willing to guess who's second in the league in scoring?
Second, probably Oklahoma City, right?
Nope.
No,
you're not gonna guess. Let me go ahead and just say it.
Oh yeah, I am gonna guess because I just saw it. That's ridiculous. Miami Heat. It's ridiculous. That is how, Sway? How? That makes no sense.
It makes zero sense
whatsoever.
It makes 0 sense that they're second in the league in scoring. However, it does make sense. They score 120 a game and give up 117 a game.
That's the most Heat thing ever.
It's weird that the Heat are that bad on defense.
Not really.
Under Spoelstra, they're usually a good defensive team.
Yeah, but they don't have the parts now. Like you counting on Tyler Hero to be a defensive stopper?
Man, I would almost argue that Spoelstra should get Coach of the Year for that terrible roster to be.
For them to even be competitive,
right. And they're still in the play-in situation.
Yeah.
I mean, well, hell, if it was the normal NBA where they used to be, they'd be in because they're 8th in the conference. So
yeah, they're right.
He might deserve. He's not. He won't get it, but he may deserve Coach of the Year because that roster.
I'll say this about the Spurs. The one thing that makes me think maybe they might make the jump. I don't think they can win it. But boy, Wemby cures all ills.
He kills some, yeah. But he has some weird games sometimes. So like the other night, he had like 12 points and 8 rebounds.
Well, he's so young. He's still young. Is he 21 yet? He might be 21, barely. Like it's a weird. They're in a weird place, but they're playing some good ball, man. They're playing some good ball.
How is it? Because now I'm intrigued by this whole Heat situation.
Oh my God! Why did you go down this cul-de-sac, sir?
He sent me down this rabbit hole.
I didn't do it. Don't blame me for that.
Guess who's second on that team in scoring?
Oh God!
Just because of statistics, not in total points, just per game.
I'm going to say Norman Powell, but I don't think that's true.
No, he's their leading scorer.
How is Norman Powell the leading scorer?
How's that even possible? Makes it even more crazy. Okay, so we all have to stall it. Norman Powell is the leading scorer at 22.9 points a game. Second is Tyler Hero at 20.9. He's played 14 games.
You know what? I'm not going to play with you today. I'm not playing with you today. Let's get to question 4. I'm not going to play with you today. That's funny. That is funny.
Answer me. How does this team average 120 points a game?
Shout out to Pat Riley.
How?
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, says Pat Riley.
I mean, Bam Adebayo averages 18 points a game.
Legitimately, because he's there.
Yeah.
I don't know how
How does this team score 120 points a game? It makes it's an anomaly.
I could see Bam Adebayo asking for a trade this summer.
He loves it there. They love him. They build everything around him. Now they don't land anybody. But I mean,
I could see them asking for a trade.
I don't know. I could see them. It would make sense for them to move on from him and rebuild. But
he's Minnesota. He's Minnesota Kevin Garnett right now, and he's not even having that level of success.
He is.
Well, no, I guess that's not true. He is having that level of success. He's been to 2 finals, technically.
Yeah, he says not technically.
So, you know.
I mean,
but I can also see him asking for a trade and saying, enough is enough."
Only way, who was trying to trade for Asia? Was it Golden State?
Golden State Valkyries.
Now,
there's a rumor that both Golden State teams are going to make a trade,
and it makes sense
for Beja. Beja, is that you like Beja?
No, but it's the only thing that you can get out of that.
I was gonna say you can't go Ajam. That's crazy. You got to go Beja. Team Beja.
Oh, but
it's aesthetically right and also phonetically right. Beja.
I'm not arguing with you on either front. You are correct on all fronts.
That's all I'm saying.
It's just dumb.
It's always dumb. It's dumb every time. And Brad Jelena is intelligent. Come on, let's go. Can we move on from that? Jesus. Okay. But also, this could happen.
It makes sense.
It would save Mike Dunleavy's job.
You so want to fire him.
He's gonna be fired.
I don't. But the thing that's holding it up is: are we going to have a WNBA?
There's the problem. there lies the problem. We've got to the root of the problem.
But now you made me. I'll throw this question out.
The deadline is March 10th, by the way.
Throw this out there to you. Talking about your Lakers. What about Bam in LA?
I love Bam. You want to know my truth in that?
Because we talked about Jaren Jackson and Giannis, but
you want to know my truth in that? Want that way more than I want Giannis. Way more. Makes way more sense to finally have a center who can score and actually play defense. And by the way, is always available. Then you don't have to trade Luka. You don't have to do much different of anything. And it would make sense on a very, very reduced contract to bring LeBron back at that point. Because now you have a formidable team. That makes way more sense than what they're trying to do. But you know our history. You know what it is. And which, by the way, brings us before we get to that question. You know what? Let's skip over. Let's go to question 5. We'll come back to question 4 because we're already here. The Lakers are making some very interesting moves, and this one was very interesting.
Or whatever Tony Bennett just did.
Right. This was very interesting because let's review. When they were looking for a new coach to get away from Darvin Ham, the first phone call that Jenny Buss and the crew made was to Tony Bennett. And they said, "Hey, Tony, what's going on with you in Virginia? It feels like you don't want to be there anymore. Feels like you're not feeling this NIL thing. How about you come over here with us?"
I don't see where he makes sense for the NBA.
Well, I don't know if he can coach in the NBA. There's no evidence to say that he can. Although there is definitely a love affair. And from what I've been told, he's a very highly intelligent, very strong basketball IQ guy.
He's a good person. He's a good man.
And he's a good man. And also, JJ is a very young coach. And he's very friendly with the talent.
I think JJ's doing an excellent job with what he has.
You know what's interesting about
And I'm
JJ?
surprised. I'm surprised that he's as good of a coach as he is.
You know what? Well, see, and therein lies where I was headed. I don't really know if JJ is doing a good job. It looks like he's doing a good job, but also maybe he's not. They haven't really given him the roster to see if he can coach or not, which is what makes the Tony Bennett thing so interesting, because we've seen this play before. I'm looking at you, Doc Rivers. Will you bring in the consultant or the advisor?
But he I don't think Tony's going to backstab anybody. But
I don't think Doc is going to backstab anybody. I think
he just did it.
I think it's the organization, but he did it with the organization's leading, is my point. And the Lakers are restructuring. You saw they hired a new president of basketball, or what I like to call the reason why Rob Pelinka might get fired. Because they said, no, Rob's fine. Rob is fine. It's fine. We're just restructuring to make it look like the Dodgers. Well, guess what? A lot of executives working for the Dodgers. And I can see, and by the way, guess who's coming back to the building now?
Please don't tell me Arambis.
No, God, no, that's over. But they mentioned in the articles that I read, and also I think they said, yeah, well, obviously, Magic Johnson is part of our investment team, and he'll be.
I love Magic, but some of the Magic stuff is annoying. Everything with Magic with the Lakers is annoying.
Yeah, but also, that's the face of LA basketball.
He's always going to be.
Man, and always right.
Somebody put some clips on the other day from when he was. I mean, them Showtime Lakers, man. That was must see. If that team was around today in the social media,
they'd be arrested.
No, I'm just talking about on the court. I mean,
it'd be fun to watch. Yeah, it'd be fun to watch.
God.
But off the court, they'd be arrested. They'd be arrested. There's no way.
Norm Nixon was doing this thing.
They had a good time.
But back to now. Reason why I like JJ as a coach is because they haven't their management has been all over the place. Like it never feels like they really have a real plan. It's like we got LeBron, and it was like, okay, well, LeBron, you kind of do everything. And then now that LeBron's to an age where he can't just carry you to a championship anymore, they don't really know where to go with that. They brought in Luka, which you can't really give him credit for that because Nico just wanted to get Luka.
Well, no, I that's where I will disagree, because I think once they realized LeBron can't do everything, that was the pivot point. We got to do something. And they got desperate, and then Nico called in, and then Nico called in the middle of the night and said, "Hey man, I was just thinking about some stuff. Tell me, let me throw this to the wall. See what happens."
I can't wait till that book comes out down the road.
Oh boy, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be great. Nico should be finishing that up in about an hour and a half, and we should get that on the New York Times bestsellers list for sure.
Yeah, it's I mean, something like with the cards he's been dealt. I mean, and then having to manage those two personalities with LeBron and Luka. Those are two massive egos, and it seems like it's working. And now they're not going to win anything, but
they're not winning right now for sure.
But the roster construction is not conducive to winning.
See, I'm more concerned about Rob than I am JJ. Rob hits. Rob is. What's that batter that used to play for the Cincinnati Reds that he was god awful hitting any kind of single, double, or triple, but he could hit home runs, or he was either going to hit a home run or strike out. What was his name? I can't remember his name. He was there forever.
There's been a few. It's been a few of those for the Reds.
It's been a few of those.
Adam Dunn?
Dunn, yes, Adam Dunn. Rob Pelinka is Adam Dunn. I'll get you AD. I'll get you Luka. I'll get it, but I also get you Russell Westbrook, Carmelo Anthony. I'll get you a bunch of stuff that you can't use. I don't know how. I've yet to see him effectively put together a complete roster consistently. So he can hit home runs, but I don't know. He's awful right now at hitting singles. Like the surrounding parts are never great. So I don't know. I don't know if he knows what he's doing. And by the way, that's why I don't know if JJ can really coach, because he's out there trying to make it smoke and mirrors and do the best he can with whatever's out there. But he doesn't have dogs.
I say with everything we just, and that's why I think he's a great coach, because again, you laid it all out there. Yeah, they go out and get the big pieces, but they don't know how to get the others, like Shaq likes to call them, and like in a very tough competitive Western Conference. I mean, they're still in 6. They're out of the play-in. They're
if you're JJ, are you
behind the Timberwolves?
If you're JJ, aren't you a little offended that they got Tony Bennett? Like, do I need an NBA advisor from a guy who's never spent a day in the NBA? That's weird.
It is weird. I don't know what that is. But again, that's this Lakers organization right now. They just do stuff.
It feels like they've kind of already.
Names.
Oh, they love names.
The Lakers love names. It's like they got all excited about DeAndre Ayton, and every one of us is like, you just went sideways.
Like maybe. I don't know. There's no evidence to say this is great, but okay. Okay, let's get back to this. Contenders or pretenders, or a bigger pretender, the Celtics or the Rockets? Because while Jaylen Brown is playing great, and everybody's so in love with Peyton Pritchard all of a sudden, he busted the Lakers up.
They've been in love with Peyton Pritchard for a couple seasons now. I think I lean more towards Rockets more because of the conference.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they're in there. I mean, they've got.
I don't understand what you just said.
Because they got 3 other legit teams who can win the whole thing.
Oh, pretenders. I got you. Yeah. And they don't have a point guard.
They don't have a point guard, and there's 3 other legit teams that can win the whole thing in Denver, San Antonio, and OKC, whereas Boston, I don't think anybody in the Eastern Conference can win it. So they can come out of it. So
I
don't see anybody in the Eastern Conference.
You and I have settled the Jason Tatum argument, right? That's just not smart at all to try to bring that kid back. Yeah.
Only reason why I can see it is because of Jason Tatum, the person that he is. He's not the superstar that's going to come in and be like, okay, I'm a superstar again. He will take us a backseat. He will do whatever the team. I don't think he'll mind Jalen running things for the rest.
All the more reason why they should not do it.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it just for the health of Jason Tatum.
That's what I'm saying. If you're not going to come back and be Jason Tatum, then what's the point?
Well, I think
they got to. They're doing well. They're second in the conference.
I think what it is though, if he can get a Jason Tatum that can come in and give you good minutes, because basically give Jaylen Brown a breather, come in, give the team about 20 minutes a game, average about 12 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists a game. That gives them a little punch. I would do it like I'm more worried about Jason Tatum down the road. I'm not worried about this season. I'll punt this season, and I'll take whatever we can get for this season. It's been a pleasant surprise, and see how far Jalen can go and take you, and let Jason Tatum come back next season.
There's absolutely no way I'd do this. I wouldn't even consider it. I would. Matter of fact, if I'm the GM of that team, I shut this down. Now, listen, I love what Jason's doing. I'm proud of his progress. I'm excited about where he is. Jason Tatum will not play in 2026. We're done with that. But can we move on? Because I got a team that could we may not can win a NBA championship this year, but we're there. There's nobody in the conference that we can't beat.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go do what we do and let the chips fall where they may.
Mm-hmm.
But Jason, I'm not mortgaging my future just to try. First of all, there's not enough ramp up time. There's not enough games left to ramp him up and get him really truly ready for the season, for a long NBA playoff. So why are we doing this? Just to get him hurt? That's just stupid. No.
Well, you're doing it because you're paying him a ton of money.
I was glad to pay him that anyway because he got hurt.
Yeah.
What am I going to cut it?
Right. But you paying a ton of money. If he can play, then you can get him out there. And
no, I'm not doing that. I'm not great.
like I said, I wouldn't. I would have put it on. I'd punt on the season and bring him back for next year. But if the thinking probably is if he does come back, it's a chemistry thing, and he's not the type that's going to ruin the chemistry because he's the type of guy that will take a backseat to Jaylen Brown.
Learn from your experience is the best teacher, but you don't have to take every class. Golden State did the exact same thing with Klay Thompson. And what happened? He tore his Achilles. No, he tore his ACL. They pushed him to be back and ready for the front of the season, only to get him in training camp, and he tears his Achilles. It's not worth it. It's just slow walk it and get him there when he gets there. Let him move at a reasonable pace and get him there when he gets there. And it's fine to take a few extra months to get him there. It's fine. Because you'll have him for the next 10 years if you do it right. So there you go. All right. SGA and Jokic. We talked about how great they are. But you know what this might also be? That they may be out of the running for.
That's why I'm gonna put a future on Jaylen Brown because SGA and Jokic are going to, because I think Jokic is what, 1 or 2 games.
There's no way he's not going to miss. Yeah, it's 2 games. There's no way he's not going to miss 2 more games. They may sit him to miss the 2 games just because it doesn't make sense to push. You're in the top 5. You're probably not going anywhere. You don't really care where you land because you don't care about winning on the road, or you can do that. You've already proven that you can do that. So you're not going to drive Jokic to get in the top 3. So you're going to sit him. You're going to sit him 2 more games. It's going to happen. SGA, you just want him healthy for the playoffs. So there's you're the number 1 seed.
Yeah, I'm putting futures on Cade Cunningham and Jaylen Brown.
Who are you getting to today? I won't hold you to it today.
Today, I think I go Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
Today,
I think I'm team Cade only because of the unexpected nature of this. But I can easily
make that same argument, but probably more so with Boston.
I was going to say I could be easily swayed away because you're right. Didn't see this coming. Didn't see this coming from either team. So I think those are your 2 front runners, I think. But it's hard to argue a guy that keeps getting triple-doubles, averaging triple-doubles. That's really difficult.
Right.
If he's there, it's probably his to lose.
But I'll throw this out there at you.
Yeah.
Do you think they get rid of the 65-game rule next season?
I think it's
because of the situation.
I think it's one of the dumbest rules that's ever been put in place. And it's only there because owners want to find a way to mitigate paying extra for all first-team All-American type thing, even though but they
still gonna have to pay that. I think it's. I mean, it's in place because dudes be taking off games.
Well, but hold on. The reason why I say you won't have to pay it because, like, for example, LeBron, he won't have a chance to make he wasn't going to make it anyway. But if he was eligible, he wouldn't make it because of the 65-game rule. Same thing with SGA, which is crazy to think that SGA, who is his second right now in scoring, right now in points per game, won't make it first, second, or third team All NBA because he won't meet the minimum 65-game rule. Same thing with Jokic, which is stupid. So now some guy who number don't even come close to theirs is going to make first team All NBA. That's stupid. That's just dumb. So yes, I think they're going to do away with it. It's not solving anything, and it's not making. And by the way, that brings us to the. I'm going to skip over to question 8 instead of question 7. That brings us to this conversation about tanking. What do you think about the ideas? I don't like what I've heard so far.
I don't understand what are their ideas for rules. I mean,
they're trying to muck around with draft picks, draft positioning. I don't know.
I mean, I get it because the paying customer. You want to look out for the paying customer, and it is annoying because like you buy tickets to the game, you don't know who's going to be there. And so at the same time, these teams that are tanking are bad, and so their arenas are half empty anyway. So, what paying customer are you really looking out for?
Yeah. So that's so funny. The one that's kind of got all this started was the Jazz.
Yes,
And
because
here's what
the stuff they was doing was like so blatant. I think it's what it is. It's because it's blatant. When you know it's a close game in the fourth quarter and you don't put your starters back in the rest of the game.
So
I think that's what it is because there's always been tanking, but it's been more subtle than that. They just been right out front. Hey,
but it's worse than that, Kendrick, because with the Jazz, I need people to take in, because it feels like this is not an NBA problem. This feels like this is a Danny Ainge problem. Danny Ainge has 1,000 first-round draft picks right now.
But he always does.
Right. And so you're like, what the hell are you saving these for? Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't understand. He's obsessed with having first-round draft picks. He can't help himself. Like, every trade negotiation with Danny Ainge starts with, how many first rounds are you going to give me? Like, it's crazy. And so the tanking makes no sense because at some point, Danny, you're going to have to use these picks, bro. Like, you got enough. How many can you stockpile? Like, what are you doing? And so I don't understand.
3, 4, 5 plus 5.
Right. I don't understand you. It's you. Like, I don't see other teams. Yeah.
Because like the Thunder were doing that, but it was a means to an end. We're seeing what they were doing.
Right.
Danny Ainge has been stockpiling picks since he was with the Celtics.
Known for stockpiling. That's what he do. So it feels like we're overreacting to one man's issues.
Well, it's my issue came was what happened with the Pacers the other day. When was it Nembhard or Neesmith? It was one of the two. Had an injured hand and he didn't play, and the NBA fined him, saying that he could play, even though they didn't examine him.
Right.
The Pacers doctor said he couldn't play, but the NBA just comes in and says, "Oh yeah, he could."
And that's dangerous.
What are we doing here?
Right. That's very dangerous to set a precedent of, no, he couldn't have. Because based on what he could have. Like, how are you evaluating that?
Right.
So I just think
I didn't like that.
But yet Adam Silver was so offended and he's so vocal about this. And I just think
I feel like Adam Silver's just doing stuff because he's hearing all the rumblings that he doesn't do anything, and he goes easy on the players and all that stuff. But new
owners are loud, like Matt Ishbia. It was really loud.
Yeah.
And so you're trying to squelch some of that noise as well.
Yeah, and I get it, but you got to do it in a smart way, and like being heavy-handed.
It doesn't feel like the answer. Yeah, I'm with you.
I didn't like that one at all, and I do generally like Adam Silver, but I did not like that. I don't.
And we're essentially talking about 4 problems all at the same time that are converging all at the same time. Number one, you're talking about draft positioning, right? You're talking about fan experience, but you're also mucking around with all NBA, which essentially messes around with people's money. There's a lot going on with these decisions, and you got to be. Go ahead.
And and you brought up a point with the All NBA stuff that I hadn't even thought about, because I was like, well, yeah, the owners still have to pay that incentive with the All NBA players, but like you said, and what I didn't think about is like, yeah, but like paying. And no disrespect to Norman Powell, but paying Norman Powell's incentive for All NBA is much different than paying LeBron James' incentive for All NBA. So yeah,
that's crazy.
I didn't even think about it like that. But yeah, you hit the nail on the head on that one.
Because Norman Powell, who leads the Miami Heat in points per game, could theoretically get third-team All-American or All NBA, and guess what? He qualifies for it now.
All right, the max, but
You paying Norman Powell $300 million?
Right. Exactly.
That's crazy.
And I mean, like your boy Austin Reeves. I mean,
I've been saying it all
he's not
season.
going to qualify for anything this year either. He's missed too many games too, I think.
Right. I think he disqualified himself, which
But-
is the Lakers like.
But again, paying him that incentive is much different than paying Luka that incentive.
Way different. So yeah, I agree 1,000% on that. By the way, speaking of Matt Ishbia, offered $1 million to the All-Star weekend, saying if you get in the dunking contest, I'll put up the $1 million. If you get in the 3-point contest, I'll put up the $1 million for you.
I mean,
is that going to incentivize guys? Incentivize Matt McClung, because that's probably more than what he's making right now.
Right. That's the thing. It's like $1 million to the stars is nothing.
Yeah, Matt McClung's all in. He's in the NBA dunking contest next year for that $1 million.
Yeah, that's more than he's getting his whole year's salary in the G League. Of course he is. He should be.
Yeah.
But like $1 million is not going to get a Ja Morant in the dunk contest.
No.
Well, actually,
you know what? Hold on. We might have just stumbled into something. By joking, we might have stumbled into something. That might be one of the smartest ideas you come up with on this show.
I said it a few weeks ago.
That man needs a character and image. He needs a name, image, and likeness rehab.
Yeah, I said a few weeks ago he needs to get in the dunk contest.
That might be the way to do it. That might be the way. Because how exciting would it be to see a Matt McClung versus a Ja Morant? I'd pay for that. I'd pay for that.
And most likely Matt McClung will win.
1,000%. Ja has no shot.
He's got more time to work on all these dunks than Ja does. Ja's got in like actual season to play.
Right.
But for rehab, character rehab, because we're constantly complaining about stars not being in the dunk contest.
Yeah.
It would be a good idea for Ja to jump in it.
It'd be a great idea. I think
you might long ago when Jaylen Brown was in the dunk contest and it was a star. Now
Jaylen Brown when was he in it?
It was bad. It's just a couple years.
I would think that Jaylen Brown in the dunk contest is not going to go well.
It was bad. It was just a couple years ago.
Was it? Jeez, that's how bad it was. I don't even remember it. I remember it all. Okay, let's get to the rest of the stuff. And unfortunately, very, very unfortunately, this one hits a little close to home for us. It's personal in some aspects. Not that we were deep friends with this young man or anything like that, but we have watched his career. We've watched him grow up. He's man from around the way kind of thing. You know what I mean? And it's one of the, I'm gonna be honest with you, for me, it's one of the most heartbreaking stories in a long time because I always liked the kid. I just thought he was special. And to see, and then by the way, with all due respect to New Albany don't get a lot of like superstars. And Rondell was that for them. He was one of the community. I don't say icon. That sounds like strong, but maybe icon. Like
he's up there. It is weird because the dynamic, the neighborhood that he grew up in did produce.
Well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, they did. That's a great point.
No, Rondell. New Albany doesn't produce a lot of big time athletes, but they had a run there because it was Rondell. It was Sean East, he was playing in the NBA Futures game.
Yeah,
and then why am I blanking on his name?
I know the names if you say them, but they're not.
I'm looking at his face. Rowe, what is his name? Played at IU. He's bounced around the league.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now either.
I feel bad because I talk about this kid all the time.
As soon as you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
And I'm thinking about his nickname and Romeo Langford, because his nickname is Rowe. That's why I kept saying Rowe.
Yes.
But
I think we didn't think about his name because it didn't turn out to be what we all thought it was gonna be, Romeo.
I mean, they named a basketball court after him in New Albany.
No, I'm talking about like professionally. Yeah,
I know. That's not saying they named a basketball court after him when before he played in college.
Right before he ever played the game. Right.
Yeah.
He was that good.
But Shawnee's, Romeo, Rondell, and it's another kid that played football at U of L last year. They all grew up in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
All same age.
Yeah.
And so they were amazing. So they did have a run. But yeah, back to Rondell. I covered Rondell in high school, and he was always very pleasant, nice kid, kind of quiet kid. But man, he was so good. He was such a player. He had a play in a playoff game where he caught a pass over the middle and literally just stopped in the middle of the field and then took off. And he was so fast, wasn't nobody going to touch him. This is a playoff game. So he was so good. And they were all
3 Purdue player of all time. We're talking Drew Brees, we're talking Rondell and other.
I'm sure there's some linemen in there.
Right. Other, but
Yeah.
Rondell's in the conversation, top 5 for sure.
And speaking about Rondell and that neighborhood, Rondell was out there at the Futures game visiting Chinese for that. So and that was a week later, and it was a week before everything happened. So it's
brings us to a much needed statement, and we can't say this enough to anybody that watches our show. Guys, if you're having any type of struggles, talk to somebody. Don't suffer in silence. Talk to a pastor, a friend. Hell, talk to the barber, your barber, whatever. Just talk to somebody and just say, I'm hurting, I need help. And just be honest about where you are, and don't suffer in silence, please. And
because it's so crazy, because I interviewed Rondell's trainer the other day, who he talked to every day.
Yeah,
had no idea. Sean,
it was that bad.
Yeah, and like because he works out the same trainer, him and Sean, and the trainer was telling me Sean was like, and like they grew up together. And Sean was like, I had no idea it was to this point. And then former wide receiver, NFL, played for the Bengals in Arizona, AJ Green, who played with Rondell in Arizona. Them two are really close. And his trainer was like, he didn't know. And like nobody knew that he was to this point. And so, yeah, I think he just kept everything inside. Because I say he's a quiet dude.
Yeah.
And, but his trainer also told me, is like, because his trainer works out. It's hilarious because Brian, his name is Brian Brooks. He works out like a lot of professional athletes. He also works out some high school athletes from in the basement of his house.
Right.
And so, but the professional athletes love it because they don't have to go to a gym and everybody's looking at them and all that stuff. They can get their work in without being bothered. And so he was like, I talk to him every day. He's like, we talk every day. And like Rondell took on, when the high school kids was in there, he took a total interest in them, got to know them. And then even Brian's kid, his 9-year-old son, was like really close to Rondell. So yeah, I think he's just the type of person that just kept everything inside.
So I'm going to reveal something that I've never revealed on any of our shows, and I'm going to reveal it now for the sake of this argument. Full disclosure, I am a certified suicide counselor. I did that years ago, just because I was the place I was working at the time. They needed somebody to do it, and so I was like, I'll do it. And so I took the classes and went through the training, and so. I'll say this: the signs are not always obvious, but they are there. They are consistently there if you know what to listen for. Mm-hmm. And so, and I totally understand what Brian said. I didn't see it. Most people don't see it, nor do they think to ask. But I'll just say, on surface, check on your so-called strong friends all the time.
And that's what Brian said. He said the saying is check on your peoples. He's like, but also check on the people who check on the people.
Yeah, because they may not be doing as well as you think they are. So just check in, and ask them the hard questions and see how they respond. And if anything in you rises up to their response, pull him to the side and say, let's go get some coffee. Let's go talk. Let's figure some things out. And that's all we'll say about it right now. But yeah, I'm prayers up for his family and the community as a whole. The community has been rocked by this. This is not a small thing in New Albany, Indiana. I can promise you that.
And New Albany, for people who don't know, New Albany is essentially a suburb of Louisville.
Yeah, that's really all it is.
Across the bridge.
It's just in another state, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
but it is definitely
something.
Yeah, exactly. So we won't obviously end on such a sad note. But we do have breaking news. The trades have begun. The New York Jets are sending defensive end Jermaine Johnson to the Tennessee Titans in exchange for Vondre Sweat.
Okay.
Well, right. I don't know if that makes them better. Like,
it doesn't make either one of them better.
Like, I guess
that's moving contracts.
I guess in some ways that replaces Quentin Williams, I guess, but maybe not.
It's
like, I don't
contracts.
know. Yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. But the Bears are also getting calls for Tyson Bagent and DJ Moore.
Yeah, the DJ Moore, when I heard his name come up the other day, that one kind of surprises me because he was brought in to be the man there.
Well, that
worked out.
Yeah,
because Roma Dunze came on, but Roma Dunze gets hurt.
He does a lot.
And plus, I like the 1-2 punch of those two.
I do too.
And
then also the Bears are allowing Tremaine Edmonds to seek a trade. 26-year-old linebacker that's made the Pro Bowl is weird. Like, do they just not want to pay anybody? Is that where we are? They just don't want to pay anybody?
I mean, these dudes are talking about moving to Gary, Indiana, so.
Are talking about that. I heard that, and I was like, really?
And like,
Gary, Indiana?
And when I first heard the story, I was like, oh, whatever. They're just leveraging Chicago for a new stadium. But it's really gaining legs. Like,
Gary got money like that? Or the land's cheaper?
The land's cheaper, and it's the state of Indiana. They want it. Like, the state of Indiana is going after it hard. And so, and actually, I think it may have, let me double check that, because it was Gary, but now I think it's somewhere else in Indiana, but it's still in the same general area. And like New Albany, Gary, Indiana is just a suburb of Chicago. Anyway.
It's more Chicago than it is Indiana. That's weird to me. I don't know what's going on up there, but shout out to the mayor of Chicago, who's about to lose the Bears. How'd you like that on your resume? How'd you like that on your re-election resume? I'm the mayor that lost the Bears.
Hammond, Indiana. Yeah, Hammond.
Hammond's got a little dough. I think that's why they're doing it. Hammond's got a little dough, if I remember correctly. Because Hammond's near French Lake, right?
That's wild.
It is wild. It is very, very wild.
I mean, it might be a little bit further north than French Lake, because French Lake is not that far from here.
Yeah.
And
all right.
I would think it's a little bit further north because that's French Lake. I mean, that's so close to Indianapolis. I think that would be further north.
Maybe further north. Okay. Kyle and Arizona have not even spoken. They've had no conversations.
I mean,
if you are a team that needs a quarterback, is that your
it depends on. I think it depends on where you are as far as your future.
Every free agency / pre-draft article that I've seen has Malik Willis at the top of that draft and Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Which I think is the right play because of mostly for the money part of it.
Money part of it. Both of them put up numbers when they're in there. Mac Jones had a big year this year.
Phenomenal year, and so did Malik. When the time that he spent,
because Love does get hurt, and every time Love got hurt, Malik stepped right in and they kept the ball rolling.
Feels like Malik is headed to Miami, and that's done. It feels like
it does feel like he's going to end up in Miami.
Yeah, it feels like that's done. So,
what do you do with Tua? Is he going to be out of the league because of that contract?
That contract is insane, bro.
I know.
We did the numbers. We did the numbers on that the other day. I think he's going to make 50. It's somewhere between 48 and 53, I think. It's something crazy like that.
So he must have Chelsea Clinton.
You've done that so many times, and yet every time you do it, it's perfectly placed, perfectly timed, and hilarious every single time. Jesus. Oh my God, it's so funny. Who do you think he is? Chelsea Clinton?
Every time I hear $50 million, this person
$50 million.
you think he got Chelsea Clinton?
$50 million. Oh my God, that's so funny. I don't know what you do with Tua. I don't know what you do with Kyler, if I'm being honest.
Well, at least Kyler's contract isn't insane.
It ain't even his contract for me. It's not the contract.
I don't know. It's
Kyler is a wee tiny man.
He's a wee tiny. He's electrifying. He is good. With him, for me, with him, it's not on the field. It's the off the field stuff.
When they got to put incentives in your contract for you to study, I am concerned.
Right. Yeah.
I am deeply concerned.
Yes.
I hadn't even heard of that before. I was like, really? You don't
Right.
want to study? Like, what are you doing? Like, are you trying to build your Twitch following? Like, what are you doing? I don't understand what's happening.
I'm sitting on Call of Duty all day. I'm like,
that's weird. That's just weird. So
yeah. So those are the red flags for me. It's not on the field. I think on the field, the only thing that worries me about him on the field is he is injury prone. But when he's out there and he's playing, he's fine.
But here's the problem, though. If you're the Jets, unless you trade up to get Fernando Mendoza, which, by the way, I think they should do, because the Raiders should not do that. I just think the Raiders, that's a mistake.
Brady wants a quarterback.
I know, but I think it's a mistake. I think if I was the Raiders, I think it makes way more sense to go get Mac Jones than it does to go gamble on a guy who is not your day one starter. He's just not. I like Fernando Mendoza, and I think he's a first round of all the quarterbacks that are in this upcoming draft. He's the most first round that's there, because which brings up, by the way, the combine starts today, and they announced that Drew Allar is going to throw. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know how well a guy throws off of a torn ACL, but
I say he's one that would benefit from throwing.
He has no choice. There's no other path for him to get to the NFL but to throw at the combine. Because if you're looking at tape, he's not draftable. I don't think he's draftable. So I don't know. I understand why he's doing it. I don't think it's going to help him.
It'll help him because teams are going to want to see. I mean, it's going to help.
But where would you draft him? Where would you draft? You're not drafting him in the first 4 rounds, 5 rounds.
Yeah, but if he doesn't throw, he's not going to get drafted at all. He'll get drafted. I mean, he has to prove that he's back from his ACL more than anything.
But I can't remember one Drew Allar play.
And he said, didn't he lead a comeback against Oregon? Didn't he do that? Wasn't that him?
If you want to say he did, but I felt like it was more the tight end made the plays more so than he.
Somebody had to get him the ball.
Somebody did have to give him the ball, but with his catch radius, I'm not sure how hard that was. Like the kid could get. That's why the kid went first round, and that's why he's on the Indianapolis Colts right now, because he can catch anything. He arguably could be the best receiver on that.
I think what was plus with Drew came in with so much hype coming in. He's had a lot of injuries, and he played for Penn State. Yeah. I don't know why he went there in the first place.
Yeah, he's an awful
offensive
thing. Yeah.
So
I feel
think
bad for
him coming off an ACL. He'll benefit from throwing. And you know how this stuff works, Lloyd. We've seen it.
Yeah,
he can come in there and tear it up in the combine, and all of a sudden he'll shoot up the draft board. So, and tape be damned.
Well, now listen. The one thing that Byron did say: the good teams don't need the combine, but the bad teams will be fooled in the combine every single time.
Jets,
every single time. Every single time. He was amazing.
Jets.
Colts,
Raiders.
really. If we were talking about that, the Colts got fooled in
Yep.
Anthony Richardson. Like,
Yep.
you know, so I don't know. It's interesting though. The combine starts today. It should be interesting. All right, let's get into some fun stuff before we get out of here. This announcement makes me so happy because tonight is the finale of the Traders, but that's not the announcement. Kendrick,
Good,
please
'cause I'm
tell
still-
them.
I'm still
What
on the
the
first
announcement is.
season.
Okay, so where are you? First of all, the fact that you're watching it gives me such joy. You don't even understand.
We are. I think we're getting close to the finale because I think we're down to the last like 5 people in the house. I think we're at the finale.
Listen, we are text. Kendrick and I, for those full disclosure, Kendrick and I text every day, pretty much all day. When you see the finale, I need you to call me. I need you to call me because it's one of the most mind-blowing endings to
The first season is.
Oh, so good. It's so good.
It is good. I mean,
It's so good.
It's
If you're
really,
enjoying
really
it
good.
right now,
yes.
the climax is like, it's so good. It's so good. I cannot wait for you to see it. But as good as it is, tonight might end up being better. This season has been fantastic. Fantastic. And I cannot wait to see the ending because it is set up in a way to where this is usually when I watch the Traders, I can kind of feel where this is headed. This is the season where I'm like, I have no idea what's going to happen tonight. I have no idea. And we got our popcorn, we got our drinks, we are ready. I cannot wait. But I need you to call. Huh?
Isn't tonight's finale a 2-parter?
No,
I think I saw that.
It's 2-part in the sense is they're going to do the finale and then they're going to have the reunion show. So yes.
Oh, okay. Because I saw the
yeah.
promo that it was a 2-parter. I didn't know if that meant
technically. I guess it is a 2-parter because they're doing 2 different shows. But yes.
Okay. Because I was confused because I was thinking maybe they're splitting it up to two weeks.
No. I don't think they don't normally do that. But it's so good. It's so good.
It is very good.
Oh, it's so good. If you're not watching the Traders, I think you're missing out. And and here's what's interesting for me. I'm not really a reality show game guy. Like it's not really my bag, although lately I have been doing it a little bit more.
You've been doing a lot of it lately.
Yeah, I've been doing it a little bit more than I've ever done historically. But the Traders is a damn good time. It is just It
is so good. Because I'm not a big reality show. Lord, I tell you, I'm not a reality show guy at all.
Yeah.
But like the strategy of it, the game of it. I mean, I've had people say it's kind of like Big Brother, but I'm like, I don't think Big Brother is
Big Brother's not as entertaining as the Traders. The Traders is fun.
Traders is like a real life version of the board game Clue.
Yeah.
It's basically what it is. It's basically what it is.
It is. It is. But it's just really good. It's a good time. Okay. I blame my wife for this. She got me on The Night Agent.
Never heard of that.
I hadn't heard of it either. And matter of fact, my brother and my wife got me on this. They were like, you got to watch it. You got to watch it. And I was like, okay. It's on the 3rd season. The 3rd season just came out. I binged the first 2 seasons in 3 days. It's that good.
What is it on?
It's on Netflix. And here's the problem with it. They keep releasing it around massive shows like Love is Blind and Bridgerton. So it gets lost in the thing. But right now it's currently number 1 on Netflix. Although Bridgerton was released about 2 hours ago, and so that's going to be over. So, right.
I watched the first season of Bridgerton, but I never came back.
I've enjoyed it. I hate to admit it, but I enjoyed it.
I liked the first season, but like when I saw the promo for the second season, it didn't do anything for me.
The second season was just okay. The 3rd season was outstanding.
Okay.
Because the girl that is like the focal point of what Bridgerton is, it was her time to fall in love. And it was so now she's balancing the whole secretive thing she does with her own love life. And it was like, oh, now this is darn interesting. This is good. So it turned out
because I was under the impression that they were standalone seasons. Are they not?
They are. They're all standalone seasons.
I thought so. Okay.
The only thing that's a constant is her thing, what she does. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. But that's the only constant in every season. And so they highlighted that in season 3. and it turned out to be very, 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 very good. Season 4 so far is actually really good too. They'll conclude it. I think they just dropped the second set of the episodes to the end, so they'll be interested to see how that ends. But
Paradise is out now.
And Paradise, I was gonna say that's my final one. Paradise is out. Shout out to my. Go ahead.
I watched the first. Well, I tried to watch the first 3 episodes. I fell asleep on the 3rd episode, but it's really good so far. It's a lot of build up.
Shout out to one of my favorite content creators, Angel Lakita Moore, who is from Kentucky. Went to the University of Kentucky, graduated, and went to Lexington and everything. Is from Lexington or whatever. But she is in the literally the first, spoiler alert, first scene of Paradise. Like that first whole thing that's going on in the beginning of Paradise, episode 1. That's her. She's the black girl in that.
Oh, I have to go back and look at it.
Yeah, I was like, oh, look at you, girl. Sort of thing. Out of here. Shout out to Kentucky.
It makes sense why there's so many Kentucky references in that show.
Yes, they were giving some love.
Yeah, there's even a small reference to Kentucky in the second or 3rd episode of the 2nd season.
Okay, yeah, it is. We talked about Jesse Jackson, didn't we, or no?
Yeah.
Okay,
we did.
Okay, that's what I thought we did. I had it in the queue. And
because you tried to humble flex me for saying I saw him in the airport.
I did. I didn't try. Didn't try to do anything. A humble flex track. You know what happened. Okay. Let's give BLEAV the shout outs. Can we give some shout outs? Who we shouting out today, sir?
Shout out Paris Jones. Met him last night. Former UVA player, played at Virginia. That had a very scary injury in a football game against Louisville, where he was almost paralyzed. And the irony of the whole situation is he's now getting his. Let's say he's finishing up his education. I can't remember if it's his master's or what exactly he's getting, but he's finishing up his degree at Louisville. And so I met him last night. Great dude. I got his phone number, so I am going to do a story on him eventually. Hopefully, he's probably going to graduate in May. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he doesn't graduate until the winter. But anyway, great guy, great smile. It's great to see him up and walking, and he was at a charity event last night that was put on by the surgeon who actually performed the surgery that saved him. And so, extremely nice guy. I'm glad to meet him. So, shout out to Paris.
One of the craziest full circle moments I've ever heard.
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard of a guy saying, hey, you know what? The place
here.
I almost got paralyzed at, I like it. I like it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to you doing that story. And by the way, shout out to you for that story about Rondale. That was really, really solid. It was really, really, really solid. But you always do good stuff. That's our guy, Kendrick Haskins. I have a shout out to obviously the wifey. I'm so proud of her. She's on she and I are continuing our health journey, and she's out here in these streets doing her walking. And so I'm proud of her to get out here doing her walking every day, looking as good as she do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about that.
I've got another hilarious shout out.
Okay, give it to me.
It gives you a good idea of where all of this comes from. Shout out to my parents who celebrated their wedding anniversary, and they forgot it was their anniversary. The only reason why they remember is because my sister called to wish them happy anniversary.
But you know what the best part of that story is, though, Kendrick? It didn't bother them not one bit.
No, they've never really celebrated their anniversary. Like, ever. They never really have. And so
like, oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the only reason why they remember is because my sister called to wish them happy anniversary.
let me be very clear about the next statement that's about to come out of my mouth. That is never going to happen in this house. Not remember my anniversary. Absolutely not, sir.
Well, that's because you were strategic about it.
I was. Matter of fact, just because you said that, I think I deserve this.
And that was a humble flex.
Because if you know, you know. Next week, big week for me.
It's the most strategic thing I've ever heard of it. You know, you was using diabolical a lot last week. Haven't used it this week, but that's diabolical.
Well, listen, because she was diabolical. How you going to get engaged to somebody before you tell them what your birthday is, and then spring it up on them? Oh, by the way, my birthday is 5 days after Christmas. Okay, you want to play that game? I got you.
Shout out to my boy Ian that I work with, because this commercial for the Elimination Chamber just popped up on my iPad. My boy Ian's going to that.
It's gonna be a good time.
It's his first pay-per-view.
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. I expect full foolishness this weekend at the Elimination Chamber.
Ian's one of the funniest people I know,
by the way, sales are dramatically down. So full disclosure,
because WWE's busting heads on prices.
Well, it's that, and also they had to pivot. Something went wrong with the New Orleans negotiation, because it's supposed to be in New Orleans this year, and something went wrong with the negotiation.
Then they up and move it to Vegas, and then what it did?
They had to move it back to Vegas in a last-ditch effort to save venue, because people book their venues 2-3 years in advance. So they had to move back to Vegas to save face. But also, they don't have a card yet. There's only one match that's been scheduled. It's Reigns and CM Punk, which is a respectable main event. But there's no other card. So sales are dramatically down. And people are just kind of waiting. They're holding their dollars back like, we'll see what happens. So they got to hit a home run Saturday. They have to hit a home run Saturday.
All my WWE information comes from you, Ian, and the Lebertard show, because Mike on there is a big WWE fan, and so is Zaslow. Yeah. And so I know that the ticket prices have been outrageous.
They're outrageous because they're trying to make up for the mistakes that have been made.
And so they're putting themselves in a bigger hole, trying to make up ground.
Well, and then this has not been talked about a lot publicly, but it's the truth. They grossly miscalculated having the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. That did not sell out at all. Good crowd that was there. Good crowd, to be fair. They had a good time. It was an energetic crowd, but they didn't sell it out. They did not sell. They were expecting 80,000. They fell drastically below that. I think it was maybe like 30. 38, 80.
I'm trying to figure out who this dude is that's on First Take right now. He looks like Redman.
He's a WWE wrestler?
Yeah, who is this?
It's
Jey Uso.
Oh, yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah, he's a good time. Jey Uso. That's the Oos. Yeet.
He looks like Redman.
Like Redman.
He does right here. Now, when I saw him in the ring, he didn't, but when he's look at him right now on First Take.
Okay. Oh, you just gotta look at Redman. It's the headphones in the band. He doesn't wear that. He doesn't wear
well,
that.
And it's the goatee too. I mean, he looks just like Redman. Like when I first looked over, I thought it was Redman. I was like, why would Redman be on First Take?
He's giving strong Redman today. I'm not sure why, but he's definitely giving strong Redman. Also, and then we're gonna close on this. I don't know how well. Oh, I shouldn't say this. I probably shouldn't say this publicly. I'll hold this one back. I'll tell you. I'll tell you.
I'll end the show so you can tell me.
You guys are gonna miss out on this one, but I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share this with my brother here after the show, which is about to happen right now. God bless you. God keep you. We'll see you at the conference. Cue the whistle.